Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pokedogs channel. This is the second episode of our Poketalks podcast, which we will be releasing weekly at 9 a.m. Eastern on Fridays. My name is Lucas. Today I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Alex and Josh. Say what's up, guys.
Yo, yo.
That was good.
And let's get straight into it. So we're gonna start off by checking what we got, our new pickups for this week. So what did you guys get?
Yo, Josh, you can start.
Alright, I got a few pickups this week. So before this, I was filming a video for my channel. I rip open a Journey Together ETB. So I'll leak the hits here though first. You got this is Hop Station Full Art, the Lycan Rock Illustration Rare, and the N Zoroark Hyper Rare.
Well, some
And
nice
then
pulls.
went to a local card store out where I am right now. Shout out Studio 151. I got the Shift 3 Illustration Rare, Team Magma's Groudon, and the Mewtwo V-Star from Crown Zenith.
Let me see that V star one more time, bro. Like, you zoom that.
Yeah,
Zoom it up.
put it up to the camera. Oh my god.
That's so clean.
And
That's so
then
fire.
I also bought a collection this week for my vending that is going to be taking place. So
Fire.
I got the Alakazam Slab and then the whole Gardevoir line.
That's awesome.
So
That's awesome.
Jeez. Here, mine
wanna
isn't
show
that
what you want-
fire. Yeah, mine
was
isn't
gonna say,
that
show
nice,
off.
but video is actually coming soon to the channel. You guys are gonna see me pull this out of Prismatic, pulled this out of a 151. Got the Zacian, just like my boy Josh over here.
yeah,
We got this clean Waylord out of Journey,
nice.
and then my biggest hit. We got that Charizard
Nice.
out of Obsidian. We got the nuts.
That's awesome.
But yeah, video's
That's
coming soon for that.
Italiano Charizard.
Italiano Charizard.
Yeah. Oh, it's the Italian one, eh?
It is the Italian one. So is the Waylord and the Zacian.
That's fire. No, that's still fire. I don't have any like rips, but I did pick up some Surging Sparks packs. I got them at retail price, thank God. So I'm really happy for those. And then I went to a card show and picked up a couple PC items. I got a what is this? Darkrai GX. I don't know specifically where this is from, but this card looks really nice. Darkrai V. Very nice. Very nice. I love it. And a Darkrai V-Star. I think this is my favorite one out of the ones that I picked up.
That's super tough.
And I got it. I actually got it from. I was standing in line at one of the booths, and some guys. I just got talking to one of the guys in line with me, and he sold it to me. Like we made a deal on the spot because he just had it on him. So topics for today. I wanted since we're new kind of creators on the platform, I kind of wanted to talk about different creators that we are kind of influenced by, or like which ones that are worth watching, which ones kind of to avoid watching. I know there's a lot on there that people love and or people hate. We just kind of wanted to I wanted to share my opinions and get your guys' opinions on some of the people that are on the platform. So take it away. What do you got? What do you guys think? Who are some of your favorite creators?
Actually, I think Josh is gonna have a lot more to say about this, so I'll start on mine. I don't know. Mine's a little bit of a hot take. I don't really watch I do watch a lot, so it's a little bit of a cap. But mainly, I think I started off with a big one in a scene, Leonhardt, back in the day when he was doing like the vintage though. So like I would watch him off and on a bunch, but I know he's like has a lot of controversy now too because he was doing some trade up challenges where people were kind of making some valid points. I won't lie. Other than
Yeah.
that, I do watch Pokerev and Mystic Rips, but I knew Mystic from the Pokemon Go days because I'm super into that still, and I hop on like for like months at a time. Those are like my few ones, which I think is kind of like basic, but they are the big ones. But Pokerev definitely for sure. I picked up a few of his packs actually, so videos will be coming soon to the channel for that mystery pack. Hopefully get some fire hits there, but let's see what you got, Josh.
Yeah, I watch a lot, of course. I've been getting into the vending space myself, so the biggest like vendors I watch is Coop's Collection, Jar Chomp Collectibles, Bulbasaur, like a lot of the big ones. My favorite is probably Jar Chomp Collectibles. I'd say like most influenced by it. But I like everyone in the community. Like Mystic Rips is great. I don't watch some of the guys that use that as much because there's a lot more opening. But when it comes to vending, like there's a lot. A smaller creator that is kind of blowing up now too is Oyama Trading. So I've been watching him. He's a vendor as well, but yeah, he's recently been getting like a lot of traction and stuff. And I really like the way his videos are shot, especially for someone who's like only a few months into it. So yeah, that's it for me.
Where I think there was a creator that you were telling me about. He sells like he gives the buybacks on his packs or something like that. Like he gives you insurance.
That's
What's
Goated Polls.
Goated Polls? Yeah, I think I watched like a couple of his videos and he was kind of funny. Me personally, you guys said honestly the ones that I was gonna say. Like I like PokeRev. I like his editing and like I kind of like his, I guess, like charisma. I don't know. I like his whole setup and like, you know, I guess his attitude when he films. I'm a big fan of Coops Collects. I like how he, you know, is nice to everybody that pulls up to him, giving away free cards, all that. But my personal favorite Pokemon YouTuber, I think his name is Pokemon Extras or something like something along those lines. He basically he doesn't do a lot of card stuff, but what he does is he creates his own Pokemon. Like he gets people to draw them,
Oh, I
he
know what you're
spins a
talking about.
wheel. Yeah. He
Yeah,
has
yeah.
the reels. Because
Is
I'm
this
mostly
the
on the reels. I'm scrolling, right?
yeah?
His stuff is mostly on the reels.
Is he the
Yeah,
guy that's
his
like, let's choose a Pokemon for you? Is he
yeah,
that dude? Yeah, yeah, I know what you're
him.
talking about. Yeah.
He's my favorite. He's my favorite in the whole scene, honestly. Like I'm always commenting on his videos, trying to get a Pokemon for myself because I heard apparently he's trying to make a game with all the ones that
Oh, damn.
he's
That's
trying to make his
sick.
own game. Yeah, so that's why he's making and like he gets a whole like story for it. He even has his own like energy type. I think it's called like Cosmic, where they're like
I
made
saw
from
that.
space.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. So I like him a lot. Um, but yeah,
You know how Nintendo is on that stuff, though. They're gonna copyright strike him so
I
fast, bro.
hope not. I hope not. I hope not. But like, you
Like
know,
there was
fingers
that
crossed.
game, Pow World, I think.
How world? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were getting
Power World.
smoked by that, dude.
yeah. But they got
They
away from it though.
survived.
No,
Yeah, they survived.
yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
But speaking, like, we were talking about vending creators, right? And obviously Josh mentioned that he's gonna start vending soon. How are you? You know, how are you preparing for, you know, beginning to vend? Like, how's your inventory looking? I know in the last podcast you were telling us that you have a couple shows. You want to just, you know, tell the people
Shameless plug.
where they are and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have 4 shows already in Ontario. So May 4th, I got the Niagara Card Show. May 25th is the Vaughan Card Show. Early June, I think it's the 3rd or 4th, is the HobbyCon in Guelph that I'm doing. And then in August, it's the 9th or 10th or something like that. I'm going to be doing the Greater Toronto Card Show as well. So I have all those. Those are my set show. I'm going to be doing some more if I can. But when it comes to like preparation and stuff like that, like this is my first time getting into vending. I've watched a lot in the space and I've been to card shows as like a buyer. But yeah, now it's just building up inventory. I have a lot of my own to begin with, which is why I'm able to do it. But on top of that, like I've been buying some collections and stuff like that from people getting out of the hobby, as well as, you know, I mean, sealed I don't really have. Like I open a lot of what I get, so I need to get some more sealed for the show.
As you should. As you should.
And then yeah, I've just been working. Like I have my account obviously that I've been like working and building, but I'm gonna be branding out more. So like I'm not gonna be going into there just as like a random guy like at a flea market. Like we're getting banners made right now. We have business cards being made. I just got my cases delivered the other day, so I have those like right beside me right now. So everything's looking pretty good. Now I just gotta see how everything goes. My next thing will be like upgrading my camera because right now like we're not working with the best equipment. But yeah, that'll be my next like improvement. So yeah, just pretty much building inventory for the shows. Like at shows, I know I'll have a lot of opportunity to buy, but I can't like go to a table and just have like 15 cards. So yeah, I got roughly 150 cards right now ready to go out on the table, plus
Solid.
a binder full of like cheap ones.
Oh, yeah.
Sick. That's awesome. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to, show out, help you out, whatever you need me to do. But just seeing you like in the space, I think that's gonna be fun. Like seeing you on the other side is what I'm saying instead of being
Yeah.
like a fighter. Yeah. Um, and I know Alex, you did like some media work for like a collector. I'm pretty sure, right? But you were
Uh,
doing more sports cards, so I was like, sorry to cut you off, but I was
no,
gonna
you're good.
ask you, how that experience was, but also like how since you're in the sports card collecting world more than obviously we are, like what the difference is to you, like between collecting Pokemon and collecting sports cards.
Ooh, it's a little bit of a sticky one. I think I touched just like slightly on this in the first podcast, but the guy that I work for, he is more of like a general like hobby shop owner. So he owns a hobby shop in Italy. He is directly like sponsored through Tops, and he was a part of Hobby Night, which is like a big thing yearly that Tops does. It's like this huge event where they bring people in. They bring like famous soccer players in or sports players, baseball. Kevin Hart showed up. Tom Brady was at a bunch of them. Tom Brady owns 4 card shops now in the States too. He owns Card Vault by Tom Brady. So they pulled up to do a lot of those. I got the opportunity to get hired through Tops and him to film and edit his show. And they gave away like if you guys know soccer, Marquisio. It's like a Juventus legend. It's Italy legend. Yeah,
Yeah.
he came in, signed a shirt, gave it away, and I did like a little bit of the PR for him. He does sell Pokemon and stuff like that too, which is pretty dope. But I think here in Italy, obviously the Italian ones are what's really in the market, or Japanese, Korean, Chinese packs. He's got a bunch of those. But the biggest thing when it comes to sports card collectors and collections, it's current hype mixed with like nostalgia, where Pokemon is more at like the big ticket items that are going to be selling for like plus 1,000, other than like rare occasions on cards that are just coming out now, is going to be like the nostalgia hypes. But with soccer, it's more of like a long-term hold type thing, because you don't know who's going to be like the next Messi, because like obviously everyone knows Messi is now, but like you're never going to know who's going to be like that next player. But with Pokemon, it's like, oh, Charizard, I like Charizard, and like there's a cool Charizard pull here. That's who I'm going to go. Instead, like, oh, Lamine Yamal came out, his cards are like $5, or Desiree Due for like $5 when they came out, and now they're like, oh, this guy's gonna be the next Messi in like 10 years. Let's start collecting, and everyone's paying like $500 plus for a card for someone like his.
Would you say it's more of like a gamble, I guess, with soccer?
I,
Because like if you like a player a lot, like you're obviously gonna get their card, or like if you think, for example, this person's gonna be big, like and you put all your money into like buying only cards of that player, like do you think it's more of a gamble when you do something like that?
Yikes. So it's a tough question, because like at the end of the day, these are real people. Like some of them can be like Mason Greenwood, who was like the big like next kid, and then ends up getting a domestic abuse charge, and all of his cards are gonna tank, right? Nobody wants to collect him anymore.
Yeah.
Or the same thing, like you get a guy who has like all the potential in the world, like Ansu Fati, and then ends up just getting injured and not being able to start, and then his cards drop. So it is definitely a big gamble when it comes to that, but I also think it is a little bit of a smarter investment if you know what you're doing, because you don't have to put all your eggs in one basket. You can buy 5 cards of this guy for like $20 singles, and then next thing you know, next year, each one of those are going for $50. Like, and you can sell in the hype, etc. You don't gotta hold. Sealed product does well, of course. Like if you have old sealed products with like a legend in them. Like for example, if you have like a 2004 Mega Cracks by Panini right now sealed, it's going to be super expensive. But if you have the 2003, there's nobody in there that anybody wants, so it's worth nothing. So that's where Pokemon has the edge, I would say. Where like even if it's just like the first set, base set, or like whatever the second print, like no matter what it is, like it's gonna hold well if you seal it. But even the gamble on sealed packs and soccer cards can be a flop if there's nobody to collect in that actual set.
Hmm.
Yeah, so you know what you're getting in Pokemon, because you got card lists, you got sets, you know exactly what's going to be there. Of course, you don't know what the hits are going to be, but the chance for the sealed product is always there.
Speaking of hype, I wanted your guys' opinion because at the moment, right, Pokemon is at an all-time high when it comes to hype. Everybody's kind of getting into the hobby at the moment. So I kind of wanted to see your guys' opinions on like, you know, how long do you think this train is gonna last, or do you think it's gonna die out? Do you think it's gonna stay this big? How long it's gonna stay big? I just wanted your guys' opinions on that.
I'll let you go, Josh.
Yeah, I was gonna. I wanted. I wanted Josh to answer right away.
Yeah, well, in my opinion, Pokemon is timeless. The reason why is so many people grew up with it. They have the formula down. The reason that they can do so well is because they don't reprint sets past their print cycles. So, like, here's a good here's a good example: Funko Pops versus Pokemon. Both in similar like niches, like they're in like the nerdy niche versus like the sports card like kind of niche, let's say. The Funko Pops, they overprint everything. They reprint stuff that they say is going to be vaulted, or they create a variation of it that's so similar to the original. Where Pokemon has been consistently releasing cards for 30 years. Sure, you'll get Charizard, and you'll have like reprints of the base set, like in evolutions and like in the celebrations and stuff like that. But it's not the same card, and the market is so much bigger on it, and the value is like so much there. So, do I think the market will ever disappear? No. The other reason why is because there's so many people in the space that have so much money invested into it that no matter what, they'll keep it alive themselves, even if they're just selling to each other. There's a lot of people that do it as a career, right? Not just as a hobby. So they'll be able to keep that, going for forever, just based off the fact of if they generate the hype, the media aspect, like YouTube really is blowing up shit with vending POV. Like you have to give like shout outs to guys like card shows have been around for a while, but guys like Coop's Collection and like Bulbasaur and stuff, like the reason they're so big now is they're not just doing whatnot streams to make money for themselves. They're creating like actual content that people want to watch, which is generating more hype around the hobby. And then the other thing is talking about the current space of where Pokemon is at though. It will come down. But that is the general trend in any, especially Pokemon. It's been proven. Like you look at history, like COVID, for example, it was so high then because everyone was stuck at home and everyone had a surplus of money to put into the economy because everyone was getting like stimulus in the US or CERB in Canada, and a lot of people were getting paid to just stay at home. So what they do is spent their money on hobbies and dumb stuff. But then after it started to decline a bit like that, you could still get like evolving skies and stuff for good prices then. And now it's just at its all time high. So I would say don't put all your money into it thinking it's like the big break in the stock market. But I don't think you'll lose either like a lot, even though the market is dropping on singles right now. You'll lose a like percentage, sure, but you still always hold value.
That's the thing with
I know it's kind
companies,
of a
man.
longer answer.
Yeah, it's like the only way that I can foresee Pokemon not doing well into the future is if Nintendo goes bankrupt, sells it to some other company, and that company like shoots the bed.
And the
You know
thing
what I'm
is,
saying?
Nintendo doesn't fully own the company. It's owned by
Yeah,
Nintendo and Game Freak. There's
Game
still
Freak.
companies who own
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
Pokemon. So, I mean, I think that they have the science down on how to
exactly.
generate hype around it. Like, look at the Team Rocket set. They could put any cards in it, but the fact that they did it, like during this period of time
They
with
know what
Prismatic,
people
like
want.
they
Yeah,
they're spending millions of dollars on marketing, and they have like geniuses in marketing working for them. They know what they're
yeah,
doing.
yeah, dude. You have people doing free marketing too, like all the YouTubers and stuff like that. That's just free marketing.
But even like I think like even if something like that were to happen, the nostalgia is always going to be there.
Yeah,
Like people love looking back, you know what I'm saying? Like especially like I was going to say Lego is a big example. Like Lego sets were really cheap, and now there's a similar kind of like market, kind of like Pokemon. Like a lot of people are coming back to it, trying to get the old sets, keeping it sealed, stuff like that. People just love their childhood collectibles, I guess.
Who doesn't want to hold on to like a piece of their childhood, especially when they have a lot more money than they did as a kid, so they can
Exactly.
like expand on it a lot more.
Yeah.
Look at like the tattoos and stuff that people have too. Like people have like bare Pokemon tattoos, and people like entire houses are covered in Pokemon stuff. Like for some people, it's a lot bigger than even us, right? Like I think that's their life. So
yeah. It's like a good one to mention. Like if you guys know who Mr. Who's the Boss is, he does like tech YouTube. But this guy like literally makes videos spending like, I don't know, he's pretty big. If you guys have never heard of him, I'm sure somebody watching has. Like he's absolutely massive in the UK, and this guy spent like maybe did like a 4 video series, spent maybe in the millions of like money on decorating his house, between his office, his studios, and stuff like that. And like every other thing was like, oh yeah, I love Pokemon, so I'm gonna like deck out my living room in Pokemon and deck out all this stuff. And this guy has nothing to do with Pokemon when it comes to like an actual like influencer channel. He's a full tech YouTuber. But even somebody like that, who is like absolutely like filthy rich and does YouTube in a completely different niche, is like super invested in Pokemon and has like a huge collection that he doesn't even make videos about, and you wouldn't really know that unless you watch like more of his vlogs or something like that.
Someone else I want to bring up actually is Deep Pocket Monster too. What he's done with his like jingle, should I open it or should
Oh,
I
yeah.
keep it sealed? Like that's everywhere. You see people not in the Pokemon space talking about it all the time. Lucas, the other day you showed me that video of the guy like at a rave, like literally mixing that into like
Oh
a,
my, yeah. He
I don't
opened
know.
he opened a prismatic pack on like during the rave. I don't think he hit anything,
This
but
economy.
yeah, that was my first thought. I'm like, wow, this guy actually ended up getting prismatic. That's crazy. Speaking, I'm sorry to like go off on a tangent, but there was another video of another girl. She was at a rave and she opened a pack of 151 and ended up pulling the Charizard. Did you guys see that
No
clip?
way.
Yeah. In the
I
middle
saw
of the rave, she pulled the Charizard. Everyone was like, everyone around her went hype. But yeah, nah, that's crazy. That was a really cool clip.
Yeah, I know I'm
But
messed up in the head when the first thing I thought when you told me that was like, oh, did she have sleeves in the top loader at the
I
rave?
don't, I thought about that too. No, I thought about that for both videos. I'm like, if you pull something like you just have like top loaders like on deck.
He's covered in rave sweat and alcohol.
But on the topic of nostalgia, actually, I wanted to ask you guys about how you feel about the new Pokemon games compared to like the old ones, because I personally cannot stand the new games. I kind of don't like them at all. I wish they would go back to, the top down 8-bit, you know what I'm saying? Like OG style. Like I grew up on the Diamond and Pearl games personally. Those are my favorite, but I kind of wanted your guys' opinions and see like how you guys feel about it.
I mean, personally for me, if you kind of, I don't know, because like for me, I personally played every Pokemon up until Black and White religiously. Like I had the Game Boy Color, I played Red, like Silver, I played Green. I still have Leaf Green and Red. I have them all in my like crib. Um, and I still have my original Game Boy Advance. I put hours into that game, dude. I absolutely loved it. But also, when they came out with Legends Arceus, I saw like a huge potential in like open world Pokemon. And if they could do it right, and if they can do it on a proper system, because the Switch 2 was not, like, sorry, the Switch and having Scarlet and Violet play on that, it was not right, dude. Not optimized at all. Everything was bugging out. You have like Pokemon like flying randomly, glitching in the air, trainers randomly glitching in the air, things are rendering, and like the Switch could not run that game. I don't even know how it ran Zelda. Like, to be honest, like they have bangers. It's just their actual hardware limits them, and the reason that it does is that they don't outsource. Like they don't outsource their code, they don't outsource their licensing. You can't download it on Steam. They never will have that allowed to happen. You're
they're
gonna
cheap too.
so yeah, dude. And like the new Switch is so expensive. And like even like the OLED Switch is like $200-$300 plus. The new Switch you just told me today, MSRP in Canada is like $700. You can buy a solid PC for that will last you maybe half a decade plus and could run all the new top titles for that same amount of money, but you just can't play Pokemon. So like at this day, like I don't know what they're doing, honestly. And that's what scares me with Nintendo is like if you guys are gonna continue to like game lock your things but not make your devices be able to run them at the vision that's like, it's gonna make Pokemon what it is, to bring in the new kids now, the nostalgia eventually will probably die. Because if you don't have new kids playing it, then like who's gonna be the next generation? Because when we're all done and we're done with Pokemon or we're dead, like, like who's gonna carry it on?
Who's gonna carry the boats?
Who's gonna carry the boats?
What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of have like two perspectives on the Pokemon games. Like, I played Crystal to Soul Silver. That was like the generation that I played, like everything in between. I don't like the new like games that are released on Switch and stuff like that. Like, I have a Switch. I never played. I got Sword and Shield when it came out. Never played it. Just played 10 minutes. Wasn't interested in it, and I was like, whatever. But where I do think they're doing well is games like Pokemon Go and Pokemon like Pocket. So things that aren't on the console, I think that they're doing really well. Like Pocket is addictive, man. That game is so fun because they have like the pack mechanic as well as like I like the battling, and it's teaching people like a very basic version of how to play the game too. Because a lot of people in Pokemon that have never played the game or know how to play at all. They just like the cards and the art. Yeah. um. So when it comes to the console gaming, I hope that they why I said they're cheap when Alex was talking to is because Nintendo sells off the brand, not off the console itself. Kids like Nintendo, kids like Mario, we all grew up with it like at some point. But the thing is like if you look at the specs of any of the consoles, it's embarrassing. They're always lagging behind. Everything's weaker. Even like you can be like, oh, it's so portable. I mean, compare Switch Deck, or sorry, Steam Deck, my bad, to a Switch, and then you can see a full PC pretty much the size of the same thing. I don't like portables myself at all. Like I PC game if I'm gonna game, but I just think that they could do so much more to make their games not like Nintendo needs to make the Switch better overall so that the games can get to the same caliber. Because even the new Switch 2, it's not going to outperform anything else like in the handheld space. It's going to be the same level as the original Steam Deck and stuff like that. And they'll release a new generation during that time too that'll outperform it. So I just think that they need to do better if they want to make their games appear better, run better, and be able to do a lot more with it. Because I mean, you want the games to be good for exactly what Alex said. You want kids to play it so that they're still interested down the line. Kids will love the cards, but I mean, how many of us got into the cards because of the games or the show, right?
Exactly. Like one thing that you mentioned that is super important too is with those games, I think if they had like, let's say you can download Nintendo Switch Store on your PC, pay a subscription just to get the games, but to be able to run it on your like home console, they're still gonna make their money. They're still gonna have their licensing. People can still emulate, and they still are emulating and stealing the games. But this way, like you're giving people a free, like not a free way, but a paid way to do it that is still gonna support the company. Yes, you probably won't sell the console, but if you stop doing the console and focus on something like this, maybe it'll end up being better for the future for longevity. Because if people end up getting pissed off and you piss off your market and you piss off your buyers, at the end of the day, like you're gonna lose them anyways.
I like because I'm a bit uneducated, I guess, on the whole like Switch 2 because I saw a lot of people hating on it and like I kind of I like you guys brought it up earlier, so I wanted to ask you guys like what was the big deal? Like why is everyone kind of like complaining about it? Is it just the price?
The
Both.
price point to what you're getting out of the console too, right?
Is
And
it
it's like how much is changing from the Switch. It's an upgraded processor and like an upgraded GPU and stuff like that. Like you're gonna be running games at a better like frame rate and stuff, but it's still nowhere compared to any other console gaming. That's like one of the issues too. Is all the consoles now can run like 4K something frames or 1080 or 2K at a really high frame rate. They're just getting into like I think 4K low frame rate or 1080 high frame rate. Like there's lagging behind always because I mean, there was a certain period in time where I thought Nintendo was doing really well, which was like the DS to the DS3 era, where it's like there was nothing really else like that other than maybe the PSP, which was awesome but didn't get like the love that it deserved. Um, or now everything is doing a lot better than it, and there's similar like consoles in the space that are outperforming it.
100%. Like to touch on that, the Switch could have released 3 generations, probably 4 generations from the time they released the actual original Switch till now, and it could be where it's supposed to be. But to correct you on that, it's not even 4K. I think it's still 1080. It's not an LED screen or an OLED on the new Switch 2. It's still an LCD screen, but it is a very high-end LCD screen. And that's one thing that people are kind of pissed off about. they have some cool mechanics into the controllers now where they're magnetic, and then also you can take them apart and use them like a mouse, like on the desk, which is pretty cool. So they have
Pretty
cool
cool.
mechanics. You're not buying the Switch 2 for the Switch 2, you're buying it for the exclusive games that's going to come with it and the way that Nintendo optimizes for that actual product, which is dope. Don't get me wrong, but the price point is ridiculous. Like I should not be dropping 700, 500, whatever it is, dollars on a portable that is literally like a quarter of a Steam Deck, maybe generously a quarter of a Steam Deck. But what I'm paying for is the games that I'm gonna have to pay extra money for, and also a Nintendo online subscription, which I'm forced to buy in order to play. Like, so all in
It's
all,
that bad? It's
dude,
that
yeah,
bad?
yeah, man,
Wow.
yeah. All in all,
Thank God I
like,
don't have a Switch.
dude, all in all, you're looking close
Oh,
to
yeah.
like $1,000 to be up and running with all the titles that you want. And like, what have you got? Like, an iPad Pro can probably do the same processing as. No, I'm serious, dude. Like, you can spend $1,000 on an iPad Pro. You can have an iPad Pro that does all the cool Apple stuff, play the same games at the same speed with a much better resolution and a bigger screen. Which is, yes, it's not as the same size like portable, but it still is portable. Like, I'm not gonna fit a Switch 2 in my pocket anyways. I'm gonna carry it around in my backpack or something. And no one's actually walking outside with a Switch 2 in their pocket. That's not gonna happen.
Wow. Yeah, Nintendo, I don't know what y'all are on, man. Fix up your consoles.
Straight up.
I love you guys, but fix up your consoles.
Just give us an online
Um,
service for the PC, dude. Just give us a Switch store.
Let us emulate. Oh man, imagine you can emulate. Like there's like a Nintendo app where you could play like all the old games
That's
on
what
your
I'm saying,
phone.
dude.
Because like a lot of people do that anyway.
Sell
They
your
get
old
an
titles,
emulator
dude.
and
Remaster. Whatever.
Yeah.
They have the retro channel where you can get old games, but it's not like the old Pokemon games. It's like the original like Game Boy games and stuff. Well, yeah, add more titles to it then and make it cheap, and people will be happier too. The thing is, no one wants to pay like $100 for every new title that's coming out too for Nintendo games.
Oh yeah, that's one thing, dude. Like paying for a Switch game is the same price or maybe $10 cheaper than like a PlayStation 5 game. Like, dude, are you serious? Like the same game on a Switch that's running at 30 frames 1080p on like a worse console, you're charging me, I think in Canada, what, like $90 after tax for the game, brand new, maybe 100 now. Like that's
It's right
ridiculous.
$100, yeah.
That's jokes.
are you talking about Nintendo games or are you talking about like games that came from other stuff that you can play
No,
now
I'm
on the
saying like
Switch?
literally right now, if you want to go buy the new Mario for Nintendo, it's like 59.99 American MSRP. I don't know what it is for Canada.
It's like
Yeah,
80,
I
90
guess about
bucks.
$80.
Yeah.
So like after tax, you're looking close to $100 just for a Nintendo Switch game. You haven't bought the console yet or the online subscription. So if you want to buy 3-4 titles that you just want to play the Switch with, I'm saying you're about $1,000 in.
That's ridiculous.
I do like in the new game though, when we're talking about games, that they're bringing back an old mechanic, which is the Mega Pokemon. That's gonna be pretty sick. That was like from the X and Y period of the cards, so there's gonna be. I'm assuming it's gonna be in like the black and white sets that are releasing this summer, like all the new Mega type Pokemon, which is pretty dope.
That'd be pretty cool. Some new full art illustration rare Mega Pokemon would be insane.
Yeah, because in the new game too, like I guess this is another bad thing is in Z and A they're not adding Pokemon.
I think it's
They're
okay
just
though. There's a lot of new Pokemon.
It's okay because I mean yeah, it's hard to keep up with, but it's just like you're selling another title. Like you really need to do well. So I hope that they take that into consideration.
It's Gen 2 or is it what generation is it? It's not
It's gonna
Gen
be a
2.
mix.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
just just a bunch of random stuff.
Yeah, like the starters, you have Chikorita and Totodile, which are from the same period, which I think is Gen 2. But then you have Tipig, which is from after Gen 4. I think it's Gen 5 or 6. I don't know the generations that well for the starters. But those are the starters for the game, which I think is kind of
Yeah.
interesting too.
They might be doing like a Rick and Morty multiverse type game with Z and A, because I know like the actual legendary Pokemon in that is like a time shifting. Is it the green guy, right, or something like that? The green and black Pokemon.
I'm not sure. I'm looking
I-
for it.
yeah.
I could fact check
I
it.
don't
Y'all keep going. Okay, I can fact check it.
um That's really cool though. Like, I mean, I think it's cool that they're like that hasn't been done in a game, has it? Where they go back on the starters.
I don't think so.
I don't think so,
Not to
right? They
that
have
level too, where you're combining different gens.
yeah. I think it's also is it a new it's a new city, or is it a like or sorry is it a different region, or is it
That I'm not sure about because like even the starters are from different regions, so I'm assuming that they're gonna go with a new region because that's also how they're probably gonna add in new areas and new like mega Pokemon and stuff like
mm,
that. Yeah.
I'm searching it up right
'Cause
now, and I'll put this on the screen. It's yeah, Pokemon Legends Z to A. So like, obviously there's not like a bunch on it, but from what I would think,
Za-
like from Z to A. So I think they're going from like Z where we're at now to A where we started from. I think that's kind of what they're doing.
that's
Um,
big brain.
but they have the new city, Lumio City, urban development, apparently something like that, and
I saw that you can like sleep on the benches and stuff like that
sleep
in the
on the
game.
bench.
It's just kind of jokes.
Nah,
It
bro, they made
looks
in the
cool.
new game they have homeless prevention benches, man. You know, they have like in big cities they have benches, they make them so that homeless people can't sleep on them.
Oh, with the
Yeah,
bar and
they
stuff.
put those in the game.
Okay, actually,
Which
Oh, it's
I think it's
Japanese
crazy.
developers right there, bro.
I stand corrected. It's Z to A because trainers start at rank Z and they fight to get to the rank A
Mm.
during the
I like
day.
your
Yeah,
idea more.
I mean
Do
that would
some
make
It's true.
sense, right?
do some time traveling.
I mean that'd be cool, like Rick and Morty it up, I guess. But yeah, I can see that here. Mega Pokemon are back. I can see some leaks in here too. I'll link this up into the videos too, and I'll let you guys know what I'm seeing. But knowing me, bro, I'm probably gonna try to find a way to play this game no matter what, because I still like all the Pokemon games.
I know that it's gonna. I think the Pokemon is gonna be compatible between Switch 1 and 2, where some of the games are only gonna be on Switch 2, like the new Mario Kart and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely get it if it's on the originals. I'm not buying the Switch 2. Sorry, Nintendo, if you're watching this.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
now that oh, sorry to cut you off.
No, no, you're good.
Now that I'm into Pokemon, I might be open to trying it. I don't know, but like seeing like the past couple of games, I wasn't really interested. But I mean, now that I'm back into the hobby, and maybe we'll see.
So just buy a Nintendo DS off Marketplace, buy like Pokemon Pro, relive your childhood. You'll have more
Oh
fun for
man,
a lot less.
nah, but the vintage games now they cost a lot. Like getting platinum with like getting the game itself, I think is like $50 or something.
Bro, my brother sold my DS with all the games for like $50.
No, dude,
All of
scam.
it, the whole game. Oh no! You
Yeah,
had one
it's
of those
all.
zip up like you know what I'm
Dude,
talking
I had a
about?
metal one, like the
Oh
briefcase.
my
No
god,
way.
no.
And diamond, pearl, platinum, soul silver, everything for the DS. I had my Game
Bro.
Boy games there too, so I had like leaf green and stuff like that.
Damn.
Yeah,
Shout out to
Oh,
Big
dude,
Bro.
those are expensive right now, dude. Like, I'm so
yeah.
happy I convinced my parents to not touch my stuff, dude. I left it all in like our crib in the attic. Maybe the system doesn't work anymore. I'm not too sure, but I still have my DS. I have my PlayStation 2. I have my GameCubes. I have my Wii. I have my PS3. I have all of my Game Boy DS games, my brother's Game Boy's DS games, and they're all just chilling there.
They're just flexing on me now, bro.
I'm flexing on
Bro,
it so hard, dude. I can't wait
one
to find them
thing
or grab them.
one thing I'm super mad about is back in the day I had the Pikachu Game Boy. Like the
Oh,
SP.
no way.
Dude, that Game Boy now is worth so much money, but me and my brother used to share a bunk bed, and one day I left my Game Boy like on the top bunk and I was on the bottom bunk, and I told my brother, I'm like, yo, can you pass it down to me? And this guy just threw it down and it broke. I had to get a new. I think I went through like 3 or 4 Game Boys when I was a kid, but like yeah, my brother, I remember that one. And that
That
was
one
very
hurts the
saddening.
most.
That one hurts the most, and if you're
That
listening,
sucks.
Damien, I never forgave you for that ever.
Dude, I have a horrible story for my Game Boy. I wanted a Game Boy so bad, and I remember I was like begging for it. Um, we walk into a McDonald's one day, me and my dad and my little brother, and I was literally asking for it like that day. I think I was less than 8 years old for sure. and I'm asking for it, and he was like, all right, we'll see. Like, I don't know. Um, I'm going to the playpen because you guys remember how McDonald's had like the playpen, like play area.
Just to be able to play like GameCubes
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff in there.
yeah. So I went up there on the slide. I'm like hanging around. I slide down the slide. I see something like a little shiny square on like a little table in the playpen. I pick it up. It's a Game Boy Color SP, like the flip, the silver one. I still have it to this day.
No way. Did it have any games in it?
I didn't have any game in it, but actually it did have a game in it. I don't remember what it was. I think it was Power Rangers.
Oh, I love that
Yeah,
game too.
yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah, I just finessed it. We kept it since, dude.
For our last segment, I wanted to ask you guys your opinions on grading and how the tariffs have affected you. Honest, how grading is in Europe. You know, I know Josh, you're grading a bunch of your cards and you sent some out. Like, how's the pricing been? You know, how are you guys finding it? All that. Yeah.
Ooh, I'll start with mine because it's a little bit shorter. In Europe in general, PSA just blocks us right now. So if you want to get through graded through PSA, it's not going to happen because they're just not taking it from us because of the tariffs until they find out what's going on. Because Trump added, not to get political, but whatever, like he added some tariffs on to Europe within the last few weeks, so they stopped it. We used to have like a direct PSA plug through Dave and Adams and other stores across here that we can send it to them and they'll send it to PSA and back, but even they've stopped it. So what you can do here right now is ace grading. I think Beckett has a European branch where you can go through Beckett, which is actually not as expensive as people think. I think it's around like $15 a card sometimes through Beckett. And I'm pretty sure you can do SGC and CGC. But PSA right now is not really a economical, viable option.
I mean, yeah, I can go off the Canadian stuff if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Let us know.
one thing that I think is really cool is that Tag just added an office in Canada where you can do direct drop-offs with them and stuff. So it's a lot cheaper for Canadians, so they don't have to ship to the US. Because before Tag, you had to ship in like US dollars too, even if it was a Canadian submission. Now you don't have to pay in US dollars; you can pay Canadian dollars, and you can do drop-offs. And I think it's located in Ontario, their first at least drop-off center. But I don't grade with Tag personally. I won't until I know more where they're going to be at in the market. I think it's really cool what they do, but I'm not taking the risk with my cards and also not losing like value until, I mean, because if I'm betting, like I need to try and get the most value out of my cards without trying to go for black label. So I grade with PSA mostly. Thing with PSA is they also block Canadian submissions directly. So the only way to get submissions through PSA right now is to use middleman services. I'll give a shout out to two that I've used so far, which is KD Collectibles in Ontario and Mint Inc., which is they're a store in Ontario, but they do direct grading as well. So
Shout out to
the
Minting.
pricing is roughly around $30 Canadian. It can be a little bit more depending on if your card store like upcharges if they're using like a middleman service themselves. I can't speak for that 100%, but if you're going with a direct middleman to PSA, it's usually around $30 a card Canadian. The thing is also the wait times increase because PSA is super behind, so you're expecting like 45. Or sorry, it was 45 business days. Now it's going to be closer to 65 business days, which is like not counting
Yikes.
weekends and holidays. So it's pretty long. So if you're trying to get your card, like have it in hand and stuff like that, I wouldn't grade at all right now. Or maybe go with Tag or one of those options that'll be a little bit quicker. Even Tag is 45 business days, so I know that CGC and Beckett are quicker. Don't grade with them, so I can't speak as much on it. But yeah, so if you really don't want your cards out for like half a year right now, maybe just hold on to them and see, where the tariff situation goes, and also see if they can get a little bit less backed up. Because with the Pokemon like wave and increase and everything like that, with people getting interested in the hobby, it's just everyone's grading with them, and they only have so many people grading. Now, one thing I wanted to kind of bring up that I talked about Tag, which I find is I've looked a lot into Tag versus PSA, and there's a lot of people that like back Tag because of the AI system. There's a lot of people that don't think Tag is worth it because of the fact that most of like money is being spent on marketing, and they're paying off YouTubers and streamers and stuff like that to talk about it. One thing I will say is PSA will probably always be the biggest grader because of the legacy behind them. And also for the fact that if PSA starts losing the market share that they have, they'll just adopt AI grading. Why wouldn't they, right? So you can feel most confident grading with PSA if you're going to, because I don't think that they'll ever not be the number one, honestly.
PSA is pretty big, man. I think them and Beckett are like the top two. The only thing that will get more money than PSA 10s is Beckett Pristines and Gold and Black Labels and whatever they are.
Yeah, the Pristine 10 Black Labels.
Yeah.
I'm scared to grade with tag, man, because the AI is like they sent you like a whole thing of like exactly where your blemishes are and all that, and I'm like, damn,
You
if
gotta
I
pay
That's
extra
good
for that.
because PSA
No, it's
they
good,
like
it's
roll
good.
dice and pick a number
Yeah.
for you, but
it's good, but it's also like that makes it a lot more, harder to get the 10, right? But I
Look,
want the 10, right?
it's the same argument though, because like if PSA is doing like eye tests and like manual, like what if you get a guy like I think this is like a scientific like study they made. You're more likely to get a 10 after the person grading your card had lunch than you were before they had lunch because of how like happy they are or something like that. And that's a fact.
there's
That's
always
crazy.
there's always jokes in like Reddit and stuff. They're like, oh yeah, if your grader got laid the night before, then you'll get a 10.
You get a
Stuff like
10.
that.
Yeah. So that's
It's
why I
true.
like
I mean,
AI personally. Like AI is cool. I like it because Tag doesn't solely do AI. They do AI and a professional grader. So it's like a little bit of a mixture.
you could also make the argument that like that person could, overlook something that the AI, can detect, right? So I don't know. Me personally, I'd probably stick to PSA in my
Oh,
opinion.
100%. Yeah.
I don't grade that much. I think I've only graded like 4 cards, and that was split with Josh. That's why I gave that shout out to Mintank. You guys were really nice to us when we pulled up and gave our cards. But me personally, I think I'll stick to PSA. They got the history too, so I'll back them all day.
100%. Dope.
And huh?
I said dope. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said oh. Well, I think we got through everything today, guys. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm happy. It's a nice Friday morning.
Yeah, Friday morning. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I forgot it's Friday. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the Pokedogs channel and watching the second episode of our podcast. Like I said at the beginning of the video, we will be releasing a weekly one every Friday around 9 a.m. So stay tuned. I had a lot of fun today, honestly. Some of the topics were, pretty cool to talk about.
Yes,
But
sir.
I'm Lucas. Like I said, I was joined by my co-hosts Josh and Alex, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.
Hey, y'all.
If
Peace.
you guys have any questions, drop them below.
Yes, sir. All the
Yes.
tags, links below.
All links.
Everyone's socials and all that good stuff. And treat us like a Reddit. Just go ahead and
Follow
ask
Mac
questions away.
and go follow MacChamp and go to his shows if you are in the GTA Toronto area. Go check him out. Show him some love. All that.
Peace, peace, peace.
Peace out, y'all.